All the parishes do a reverse missionary. I was in the mission office for 10 years, and I did mission reports and requests for our parish in Cochabamba, Bolivia. So welcome, sister.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Sister Judy Callahan, and I have Sister Helen Wolkerstofer with us this morning. And the announcement, it mentioned Roberta White. She is over missioning in Placid this morning. So I'm happy to be with you. We both are, and to share. You were over there? Oh, good. Did she do all right? Yeah. Very, very good. Talk to her later. But anyway, we're happy to be with you. I'm a BVM from Mount Carmel, and Sister Helen is also, and also from the Cascade Bernard area. Usually I find a cousin or two in these local parishes, so maybe there's one here today. Anyway, by our baptism, all of us are called to be missionaries. Now, the BVMs don't do mission because we are nuns, but rather because we are baptized. Today's readings highlight our very forgiving, loving us as we are God, who upon Abraham's request relents punishment of evil, even if there are only 10 innocents. Last week, we looked at hospitality when Abraham anticipated the needs of the three men offering food, water, and rest. And also last week in the Martha and Mary story, where we considered how hospitality and service are necessary responses for the needs around us. Today's gospel acclamation, we are encouraged to call God our loving Father, Abba, like Daddy. The gospel informs us that as adopted children, we should keep on asking for our needs, to keep knocking at the door, and it will be opened. Everyone who asks receives. The poor do ask, as we do, in their need, and we often sing, "The Lord hears the cry of the poor." How does God respond to the pleas of the poor? God responds through us, you and me, and God responds through us. We are the eyes, the ears, the hands of Jesus in response. Let me share a few highlights of our BVM approach to answering the cry of the poor throughout the world. We have a three-pronged direction: local, global, and an expansive grant program. In foreign countries, in Quito, Ecuador, where I was served for 5 years, the Working Boys Center has brought in its 54-year history an end to the cycle of poverty for over 4,000 families for generations to come. In Ghana, Africa, one of our sisters works at a retreat center in the formation of indigenous and missionary priests, sisters, and laypeople. In Guayaquil, Ecuador, Sister Annie Credidio changes the lives of victims of Hansen's disease, formerly called leprosy, by maintaining a community that is clean and safe and promotes training in nursing for many young women through our BVM Mary Frances Clark scholarships. Mary Frances Clark is the foundress of the BVMs. Now locally, our retired sisters, as we are aware, the number of sisters is becoming fewer and they are greater in age. But even BVMs in retirement in their 80s and 90s and beyond work with many missionary projects at Mount Carmel. And we have here a few examples of the work of their hands. The sisters call themselves the Nitwits and the Cut-Ups, and they are. First of all, we have the little dresses that 97 of these were made and sent to Ghana, Africa. And in the pocket, a small doll or a bracelet was placed. Next, we have the boys' shorts. Colorful boys' shorts were also sent to Ghana. Next, we have the Diaper Project. This is huge. We have sent over 4,000 diapers now made and distributed to Haiti, Madagascar, Nicaragua, and other countries. Next, we have the cardiac pillows. 157 of these were sent to the University of Iowa Cardiac Unit. No hugging the Charmin. Next, we have the knitted hats. Over 4,000 knitted hats were distributed to Appalachia, Chicago food pantries, homeless men in Alabama, the Rescue Mission, Head Start, and Birthright. Next are the little tiny bucket hats. 341 of these were sent to the Iowa City Hospital Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. Next we have teddy bears. You can hug this one. 71 teddy bears were comforted undocumented children in Brownsville, Texas, who had escaped violence from Central American countries. Next we have the pillowcases. 100 plus were sent to the University of Iowa Children's Cancer Ward. And finally, we have our food protectors, not bibs, for seniors in local senior facilities. Let's give a big thank you to Vanna White here, Sister Helen. Great job. We are all called upon to use the talents we have to serve those around us, near and far. Next, I want to tell you a little bit about our grant program, our outreach, and that's where the collection from this weekend will go to our grant outreach programs. Many organizations in the United States and abroad receive BVM grants up to $10,000. The grants cover needs such as these samples: hospitality, advocacy, legal services, and education to the migrant, homeless, and economically vulnerable peoples of Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Mexico. Food and shelter and support services for homeless men, women, and children. Skill training, counseling, and legal support, especially to widows in Nigeria. Services to victims of sexual assault and for sexual violence prevention and human trafficking. Assistance to men and women re-entering the community from prisons with food, clothing, transportation, shelter, and aid in securing housing and employment. Programs for women with alcohol and/or drug addictions. Humanitarian aid at the U.S.-Mexico border. These are just samples of grants awarded through our outreach efforts. Besides the grant program, BVMs have a local needs fund, which individual BVMs can tap into in the areas where they live, such as rent, payments, car repair, medical assistance, and so on. At the end of the Mass, we hear the words, "Go, the Mass is ended," which means go and get busy doing as caring missionaries to all around you. This means bringing to life what we celebrate here in this church. This is how we BVMs do mission. How do you do it? There are many ways you can, but you can also partner with us in our outreach program today. In our communion song, we will sing, "Blessed are they, the poor in spirit. Blessed are they, those full of sorrow. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst." And then we'll sing, "Blessed are they who show mercy." That's what we do when we do mission. We show mercy where it is needed, locally and globally. There are envelopes in your packet for the mission co-op, so you can use those. We do have a few at the doors if you don't have a packet of envelopes, and checks should be made out to the parish. We thank you for your generosity and your attention, so please join us in mission. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister. Jesus said in the gospel we should ask for whatever we need, and we need prayers for the missionaries. We can make an offering, and that's wonderful, and I know the farm economy is not the best right now, and some other things in the economy, but most of us have enough to eat, so whatever we share is wonderful, but don't just write out a check or give an offering and call it good. I pray for missionaries. I pray every day. I like to go to Mass. I'm retired in Dyersville. I like to go to Mass at Epworth at least once a week, because there's one continent, there are 25 continents represented there with the students, but one continent serves Mass, another one presides, another sister from another continent reads, another continent does the music. So it's an international church. So we're baptized to be, baptized to be, Paul says today, about part of God's family, not just a few of us who go to this parish or this cluster. So thank you again, sister. You did a wonderful job. You get my vote. I didn't bring anything for show and tell, just our faith. Please stand. We'll pray the Apostles' Creed.